All right, ladies and gentlemen, final video of the day. We're going to attempt this homemade thermometer. A couple things that we're going to be using: a little rubbing alcohol, some red dye for effect, a glass receptacle, a straw, a piece of clay. Let's begin by filling the glass jar 2/3 full. When we think about our fractions, 2/3, a little more than a half, 1/3 empty. 2/3 of a glass jar right there. All right, we're going to insert our straw. We do not want it touching the bottom. We're going to use the clay. Make it airtight. This is the trickiest part. We just want to make sure that it's nice and sealed so that the air stays in the glass jar. All right, I think that's pretty good. All right, next, carefully, I'm going to pour a little bit more rubbing alcohol into the straw so that it sits just in the middle of the straw. Very carefully. Here it comes. All right, very good. All right, here's what we're going to see now. We've got hot water here in this thermos. We're going to put this hot water into this jar, or excuse me, into this bowl. Now, if our thermometer works properly, you should see the rubbing alcohol in the straw rise because, well, when the heat transfers or the rubbing alcohol absorbs the heat, the liquid expands and it climbs up the straw. Let's see how it works. Zoom in close, Nicholas. And there it climbs. Still climbing. Still climbing. Still absorbing heat and still climbing. And it keeps going. All right, it's still climbing. And before it overflows, we're going to move it over to the cold. We'll let it get about as close as it can. All right, let's try in the cold water now. See what happens. And it's lowering. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, you know, how is this a thermometer compared to a commercial thermometer where you've got the little lines of demarcation, you can tell exactly what temperature it is. Put in a little extra time and you can kind of create a benchmark. So we know that ice melts at 32 degrees. If we can roughly estimate what 32 degrees looks like and mark it, and then maybe we can use a commercial thermometer to measure this water and see how hot it is, we can kind of create a gauge there. And then when you use it outside, you could put it right in the window and you get a night where it's down to 40 degrees, mark where it's at. And then you get a hot day where it's up to 80 or 85 degrees, mark where it's at. And eventually you'll kind of have this scale in a pretty accurate thermometer. So without further ado, that's it. Everybody, have a good weekend.